Make the ground shake.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Gummy, and today we are back for another statue tutorial. Today we're doing something a bit different. It's something I've been planning for quite a while, but it's a new series, and this new series is going to be Stranger Things. So if you haven't seen Stranger Things, really good show by the way. The first season is officially out on Netflix and has been for quite some time, but the second series will be coming out in October. Personally, I love Stranger Things, which is why this series is going to be really fun for me, but hopefully you guys enjoy it just as much, and if you haven't seen the show then definitely give it a watch, because as I said, it's really good. Now anyways, today we're going to be doing the main character, or I guess one of the main characters. We're going to be doing 11, and it's going to be the version where she has a shaved head. Now, I do have a version where she has, like, the wig on, so I'll be doing that in future videos, so stay tuned for that. And if you do enjoy this video and the new series, then definitely consider leaving a like on the video, subscribing for more, and also making sure to hit the bell icon for notifications every time I upload. Anyways, with that said, this was designed by me, so really do hope you enjoy. And the blocks you're going to need are the following. You'll need white wool, yellow clay, quartz, lime clay, white clay, magenta clay, pink wool, light grey wool, blue clay, cyan wool, light blue wool, light grey clay, black clay, oak planks, spruce planks, and dark oak planks. So I'll give you guys a second to grab them blocks into your inventory, and this build overall isn't that difficult, so it shouldn't take too long. Watch the video now be like 2 hours long. But anyways, let's begin. So we're going to start off by placing a row of 8 white wool. Now of course we're starting off by building the legs, so that's 12 tall, 8 wide, so the first layer is one layer of 8 white wool. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The next layer, the second layer, is 8 hardened yellow clay. So again, that's 8 hardened yellow clay, or yellow hardened clay, as most people would say it. The third layer is 8 blocks of quartz. So again, after every layer, keep on backing up just in case you want to pause. At this point, shouldn't be too much of an issue. For the fourth layer, we're going to do a layer of 8 lime clay. So that is again our fourth layer. And for our fifth layer, we're going to do a layer of 8 quartz again. So currently we have a 5 tall by 8 wide area, and it looks something like this. Now essentially what this is are shoes, of course, and also her socks. She has really high socks which are yellow and green striped. Now if it was to be authentic, there would be another stripe here of yellow, but of course we don't have the room, so we're going to have to compromise. So again, this is what it looks like so far. The next 2 layers on top of this, so the 6th and 7th layer is going to be 8 white clay. So now we're getting into ankle / leg area. On top of this, we're going to do a layer of 3 white clay, 2 magenta clay, and 3 white clay. So currently we're up to the 8th layer. For the 9th layer, we're going to do 1 white clay, 2 magenta clay, 2 pink wool, 2 magenta clay, and 1 white clay. So again, that is our 9th layer, is it? I believe it's a 9th layer. The next layer is going to be 1 magenta clay, 1 pink wool, 1 magenta clay, 2 pink wool, 1 magenta, 1 pink, and 1 magenta. Now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat that twice more. So we do the exact same pattern twice more, so for 2 more layers, so we have 3 layers that are the exact same, and that is our 10th, 11th, and 12th layer. And once you've done that, of course, because we are at the 12th layer, this is what the legs should be looking like. It's 12 tall, 8 wide, and that is the legs complete. Now again, if you want to pause here, you are more than welcome to do so. I would recommend it, in fact. And what we're going to do now is, in fact, add some 3D effects in the form of some shoes. So right now, as you can see, the legs are kind of like merged into leg, shoe, and sock all in one. So what we're going to do is in front of the line of shoe here, we're going to place another layer of 8 white wool. And then on top of that, we're going to leave 1 block, place 2 light grey wool, leave 2 blocks, place 2 light grey, and leave 1 block. Essentially what that's doing is just signifying that they are indeed shoes, and then it transitions into the sock area right here. So again, that is 12 tall, 8 wide, and that is the legs including the 3D effect. So once you've done that, you are now ready to move on to the body. Now again, the body is very similar if you're going to be doing the version with the hair, so stay tuned for that. but we're going to make the dress / jacket. So we're going to start off on the left side. Again, this is the 13th layer of the build. I'll prove that to you right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 so far, as I said. This is the 13th layer. We place 1 magenta. Then what we're going to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left using white clay. Now on the right side, we're going to do pretty much the exact same, but instead of magenta, we're going to place 1 pink wool. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right using white clay. Essentially, all we're doing there is marking out where the hands start and where the arms begin. So that is essentially just making life easier later on in the video. We're not actually going to do the arms right now. We'll come back to that later on. But again, it just saves time counting later on in the video. So anyways, continue with the body. The first layer, which is this one here, we started, should I say, with the 1 magenta here and the 1 pink wool here. Starting from this magenta, going left to right, we're going to place 1 pink wool, 1 magenta, 1 pink wool, 1 magenta, 1 pink wool, and 1 magenta. So you can see here the pattern goes a bit like skew width. So instead of going magenta, 1 pink, magenta, 2 pink, it goes literally magenta, pink, magenta, pink, magenta, pink. So yeah, that's the 13th layer of the first layer of the body. The next layer is 1 pink wool, 1 magenta, 1 pink wool, 1 magenta, 1 pink wool, 1 magenta, 1 pink wool, and 1 magenta. So you can see here, it's a very clear pattern. And again, that is the second layer of the body. The third layer we're going to place, this is starting off with the jacket now. We're going to place 1 blue clay, 6 light grey, and 1 blue clay. The fourth layer is 1 blue clay, 1 pink wool, magenta, pink, magenta, pink, magenta, and then 1 blue clay. So again, if you know anything about the character 11, her dress is pink, and it's got the grey stripes, or like the creamy grey stripes, I guess you could say. There's probably alternative colours you could use, maybe even smooth sandstone, but I've chosen to use light grey. Feel free to change that if you want. And then it goes back into the dress pattern, and then another stripe, dress pattern, stripe, and then of course she's got the jacket, which is what the blue's representing, over top of the dress. So the next layer, which is the 5th layer, we're going to need our cyan wool. We place 1 cyan wool, and again this is representing her blue jacket, 1 blue clay, then back to the dress we go pink, magenta, and then blue clay, 1 cyan. So again, that is the 5th layer of the body. The 6th layer we're going to place 2 cyan wool, then we're going to need to grab back our light grey. We place 4 light grey and 2 cyan wool. The next layer we're going to place is 2 cyan wool, magenta, pink, and then 2 cyan wool. And again, just backing up so you can see what it looks like so far. You can see it's starting to make a bit of progress. So again, that is the 7th layer. For the 8th layer, we're going to place 1 cyan wool, 1 blue clay, 1 pink wool, magenta, 1 blue clay, 1 cyan. The next layer, again, we're going back to our light grey. So we're going to grab ourselves our cyan. We go 1 cyan, 1 blue, 4 light grey, 1 blue, 1 cyan. And that is our 9th layer. For our 10th layer, we're going to do 2 cyan, 1 pink, 1 magenta, and 2 cyan. And again, that is our 10th layer. For our 11th layer, our second to last layer, we're going to do 2 cyan, 4 white wool, and 2 blocks of cyan wool. And then for the 12th and final layer, we're going to do 1 blue clay, 1 white wool, 1 light grey wool, 2 white clay, so this is her neck, 1 light grey, 1 white wool, and then we finish it off with 1 blue clay. And once you've done that, it should look something like this. It should currently be 24 tall and 8 blocks wide, 16 wide if you're including the arms. Okie dokie, so again, I'll give you guys a second to pause here and get up to this point, and then we can start making some progress on the arms. Okie dokie. So one thing I will say, and it's a, I guess, valid point, If you feel you want to make the cyan and the blue 3D, you want to bring it forwards one, you can definitely experiment with that, because logically this is the dress and this is the underside. Of course the jacket is on top of the dress, so if you want to play around with making the jacket 3D, you can. I tried it before and it makes it look a tad bulky, but of course if you want to play around with it and see what it looks like, then feel free to do that. Anyways, working on the arms now, what we're going to do is come to the 13th layer of the build, aka the first layer of the body, and we're going to go 4 blocks to the left and 4 blocks to the right using white clay, if you haven't already. If you have done it already, great, perfect, saves you a bit of time, very, very handy. What we're going to do is grab ourselves our light grey clay, and on the left side, on the third block from left, we're going to replace it with 1 light grey clay, and on the right side, second from left, we replace. So it's essentially the second closest block to the body on each side. On the first layer, we're going to replace with light grey, and that's essentially just to show her like clenching her fists. Starting on the left side, we'll work up this side, then we'll go to the right side after. The second layer, again bear in mind, is 12 by 4, so each layer is 4 blocks. Second layer is 4 white clay. The third layer is 1 cyan wool, 1 blue clay, and 2 cyan wool. Whoops, don't want to be throwing that away. Come back here, there we go. The next layer, which is the fourth layer, we're going to place 1 cyan wool, 2 light blue wool, and 1 cyan wool. And what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this another 8 times. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then finally 8. So that will bring you all the way up to the top. That's not what we want it looking like, so we're going to make a few small changes, but that's probably the easiest way about it. So we have essentially the first 3 layers, which is the 2 layers of white clay for the hands. We've got the third layer, which is 1 cyan wool, 1 blue, 2 cyan, and we have 9 layers of cyan, double light blue, cyan. On the top layer, on the second, third and fourth block, we're going to replace it with blue clay. Then what we're going to do is underneath the third one from left, we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, so it's in line with the top block of this blue clay here, replace with blue, and it will end up looking like this. Once you've done that, that is the left arm complete. Now the good news is the right side is the exact same, so if you want to copy it, you are more than welcome to do so. Again, the reason why I did it like that though, is just I feel it's easier. So, moving on to the right side. The right side, again, is an exact same copy, just mirrored, so if you want to build it yourself, you are more than welcome to do so. Anyways, let's begin. So we've got the first layer, again, which goes 1 white, 1 light grey, 2 white. The second layer is 4 white clay. The third layer is 2 cyan, 1 blue, and 1 cyan. And then just like before, we're going to do 9 layers of cyan, 2 light blue, and cyan. So all you need to do is just build all the way to the top with all of them, as you can see. Again, that's 9 layers of 1 cyan, 2 light blue, 1 cyan. And for the 12th and final layer, what we're going to do next is light, blue clay here, is we're going to punch out 1, 2, 3, replace with blue clay. And underneath the second block on the left, we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, and it will line up with the top block of this one right here. Replace this, and you have yourselves your right arm. Beautiful. So that is essentially the statue so far. Hopefully you're liking the design, and of course if you have any suggestions, then please don't hesitate to let me know down in the comments below. I really do love hearing your feedback, but if you are enjoying so far, definitely consider leaving a like. I don't want to spam it too much, but YouTube seems to be so focused on interactions recently that if you don't force it, you kind of die off. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. But anyways, let's move on. So what I'm going to do now is, again, just give you a little flyby so you can pause if you want to. We have the front side of the legs, that is indeed 12 by 8 with the 3D effect. Moving up in a very cinematic way, we've got the front of the body, which again is 12 by 8, and we have the front of each arm, which is 12 by 4. So hopefully everyone at this point in the video is up to the exact same point. If you aren't, go back in the video, see where things haven't gone quite to plan. If that still doesn't work, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try and help you in response. So yeah, this is the front side of the statue. However, it's looking a bit flat. So what we're going to do now is start working on the sides and turning it into an actual 3D statue. So the way we're going to do this is coming to the bottom left corner of the build, this white wall here. To the left of this, we're going to go 1, 2 to the left using the light grey wall, and 1 white wall. So essentially, the left side of the leg, just like the front side of the arms, is 12 by 4. However, the fourth block is already here. This is the fourth row. So the fourth row, already done. Don't need to worry about it. Which means we're only placing 3 blocks on each layer, which makes it incredibly easy for us. So, going from left to right, of course we've got the first layer, which is 1 white wool, 2 light grey. The second layer is 3 yellow clay. The third layer is 3 quartz. Fourth layer, 3 lime clay. Fifth layer, 3 quartz. So as you can see, it matches up with the block that's already here. Incredibly simple. The next layer, which is the sixth layer, is 3 white clay. Now the seventh layer is slightly more difficult. We're going to place 1 white clay and 2 light grey. On top of this, we're going to place 3 white clay. And on top of that, we place 1 white clay, 2 magenta, and that will meet up with the 1 white clay right here. Now for this final section, layer 10, 11, and 12, we're going to place 1 magenta and 2 pink wool on each layer. So we go 1 magenta, 2 pink wool, 1 magenta, 2 pink wool, 1 magenta, 2 pink wool. As you can see, that brings you all the way up to the top, and that is the left side of the leg. And again, that is a 12 by 4, and from a side angle, looks like this. Now, of course, if you want to play around, again, by making it 3D, because it is a dress, you can play around with that. Of course, again, it does have the risk of making it look a tad bulky, but I don't want to kind of like put you off trying to make it a bit more unique. Anyways, with that said, the right side of the leg is the exact same. So again, if you want to skip ahead, feel free to do so. But just for the ones that don't, I am going to go through it nevertheless. So come around to the right side, and right next to this white wool here, you're going to go 2 to right using light grey wool and 1 white wool. Just like before, it is indeed a 12 by 4. This is the fourth layer right here, which means you're only placing 3 blocks per layer. Pretty sure I said that before. Anyways, the second layer, again, just like before, we're matching up, is 3 yellow clay. The third layer is 3 quartz. The fourth layer is 3 lime, and the fifth layer is 3 quartz. On top of this, we're going to place a layer of 3 white clay. The next layer, just like before, is slightly different in the sense we're placing 2 light grey and 1 white, and that kind of just represents like bruises and scuff marks and dirt marks, general just wear and tear. The next layer is 3 white clay. On top of this, we're going to place 2 magenta and 1 white clay. And for the final 3 layers, just like before, we place 2 pink wool, 1 magenta, 2 pink wool, 1 magenta, and 2 pink wool, 1 magenta. And just like I said, right side exact same as the left, and from a corner angle looks like this. Okie dokie, so you can see now from a corner it looks kind of cool. However, the arms are still looking a tad flat, so we're going to make some progress on them. Okie dokie, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to come around to the rear side, come to the bottom of each arm, this layer here, the layer that goes white, white, light grey, white, and behind it we're going to bring it back 1, 2, 3 all the way across using white clay. What this does is gives you a 4x4 platform. As you can see here, that's going to be the base plate for each hand, and we repeat this on the other side, bringing it back 1, 2, 3 all the way across, and again that is a 4x4 platform. Okie dokie, so starting on the left side first, just getting that out of the way I guess, we're going to, just like before, place 3 blocks per layer because the fourth layer is already done. What we're going to do, the first layer is 4 white clay, the second layer is again light grey? White, sorry, I'm saying the wrong colour here, white clay. The next layer, which is the third layer, we're going to need our cyan wool, we place 3 cyan wool. And then what we're going to do is on the left side, we're going to build up 9 using cyan. So this will bring it to exact same height. Build it 2 blocks across, and this gives us a rectangle. So the rectangle is 10 blocks tall and 4 blocks wide. In the middle, there is an 8x2 area, which we're going to go ahead and fill in using light blue wool. So the outer layer, again, is cyan, and the inner part is light blue wool. So just to repeat that, 2 layers of 4 white clay. The third layer is cyan. We then build up 9 on the left and 9 on the right, but the one on the right should already be done. Join in the middle at the top on the 12th layer using 2 cyan, and then place an 8x2 of light blue wool in the middle. And that is the left side of the arm. Just like before, the right side, exact same. So we've got the first 2 layers, which is 4 white clay. The third layer is 3 cyan, and on top of this we're going to build up 9 using cyan, linked together by going 2 to the left, and then in the middle we're going to place an 8x2 of light blue wool. And that is, again, head on 12x4, and that is the right side of the arm. Now if we back up, looking slightly more impressive. However, I say that, we come around to the rear side, and again we have the same problem. It's just not complete. The good news is, of course, because we already have the templates in place, it's going to be a lot more easy to fill in. So, we're going to start off on the first layer. Now, one thing you may have noticed is on the left side and the right side, there is already a row. So what this means is, of course, 2 rows are already complete. If you minus a V2 from V8, which is what it's going to be wide, it means we're only placing 6 blocks per layer. So, starting at the bottom, in between V2 white wool, any guesses on what we're going to place? If you guess 6 white wool, you're on the right track. The second layer, again, very, very simple, 6 yellow clay. Third layer, 6 blocks of quartz. Fourth layer, 6 lime. And the fifth layer, 6 quartz. Again, so very simple, generic pattern. On top of this, we're going to place 2 layers of 6 white clay. And this will bring us up to the level where the dress starts. For the level with the dress, we're going to place 1 white clay. We are then going to grab ourselves our magenta and pink wool. We're going to place 4 magenta and 1 white clay. For the next layer, which is the 9th layer, we're going to place 2 magenta, 2 pink wool, and 2 magenta. So slightly different pattern to the front side. And then for the remaining 3 layers, we're going to keep the same pattern, which goes pink wool, magenta, 2 pink, magenta, pink wool. So again, we repeat that twice more, so just build up each layer twice to the same design. And once you build that, that is the rear side of the legs. If you want to keep it symmetrical with the front side, all you need to do is replace the left side and the right side right there, and it is the exact same as the front side. Of course, if you want to make it, I guess, more bulky at the rear, then that's also up to you. Personally, on reflection, I'm going to change it to the front side because I'm very funny about symmetry. Anyways, again, that is the rear side, 12 tall, 8 wide, and again, if you want to pause, feel free. Now, moving on, we have the rear side of the jacket. Now, of course, the rear side of the dress is not going to be covered because the rear side of jackets do not have general openings unless it's a very weird and damaged and ineffective jacket. So the materials you're going to need for this part is blue clay, light blue and cyan. That's pretty much all you're going to do. And this is slightly more complicated. Arguably, in my opinion, this is probably the hardest part of the tutorial, because this is probably the most detailed area. I put a lot of work into making sure this isn't plain like blue or plain cyan, and instead have put tons of texture. So it makes it overall look more interesting, but does make it a tad more of a pain to build. But anyways, let's stop putting it off and let's begin. So the first layer is 3 blue clay, 1 light blue wool, 1 cyan wool, and 3 blue clay. And again, I'm going to take this part a bit slower because it's a bit more complicated. So the second layer is 1 blue clay, 1 cyan wool, 2 light blue, 3 cyan, and 1 blue clay. And again, that is the second layer. The third layer we're going to do is 4 cyan wool, 2 light blue wool, and 2 cyan wool. So the majority is going to be cyan, and then the details are going to be light blue and blue. The next layer, which is the fourth layer, we're going to do 2 cyan, 2 blue clay, and 4 blocks of cyan. The next layer, which is the fifth layer, is going to be 2 blocks of cyan, 1 blue, 1 cyan, 1 light blue, 1 cyan, 1 blue, and 1 cyan. So again, that layer is a bit more complicated. That is the fifth layer. The sixth layer we're going to do is 1 cyan, 1 light blue, 1 blue, 1 cyan, 1 light blue, 1 cyan, 1 blue, and 1 cyan. And again, that is the sixth layer, so halfway there. The next layer is going to be 1 cyan, 1 light blue, 2 cyan, 1 light blue, 1 cyan, 1 blue, and 1 light blue. And again, that is the seventh layer. The 8th layer we're going to do is 1 cyan, 1 light blue, 1 cyan, 2 light blue, 2 cyan, and 1 light blue. And that is the 8th layer. For the 9th layer we're going to do 3 blocks of cyan, 2 light blue, 2 cyan, and 1 light blue. For the 10th layer we're going to do 2 cyan, 1 blue, 2 light blue, 1 blue, and 2 blocks of cyan. And again, that's our 10th layer. Our 11th layer, our second to last layer, we're going to do 1 cyan, 1 light blue, 1 blue, 2 light blue, 1 blue, 1 light blue, and 1 block of cyan. And then for the 12th and final layer, we're going to do 1 blue, 1 light blue, 1 blue, 2 cyan, 1 blue, 1 light blue, and 1 blue. So that is the rear side of the body. Again, a bit more, I guess, complicated than the other sides, just purely because of all the random details and texturing. If you want to simplify it a bit more, or you're having issues with this, just leave it as plain cyan and it will probably look just as effective. Maybe not quite as, but you'll still definitely get the vibe of who it is. Anyways, now what we're going to do is move on to the rear side of each arm. We're going to start off with this one, which is the rear side of the right arm. In this case, it's our left arm. So just like before, 12 by 4, 4th block is already done. That's this row right here. So we're going to start off by placing 3 blocks on the remaining layers. The first layer is already done again, so that's white clay, and the second layer is again exactly the same white clay. The third layer we're going to place is 1 blue clay and 2 cyan wool. On top of this, we're going to place 8 layers of 2 light blue. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and that will bring you 1 layer away from the top. Now I said 2 light blue, but I didn't specify what the third block is, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So for the third layer, or in this case it's the 4th one, I can't count apparently, we're going to place 1 cyan. On top of this we're going to place 2 blue clay, 2 cyan, and then 4 blue clay, and that will bring you all the way up to the top. Now from this blue clay right here, we're going to go 2 blocks to the left, and it will end up looking like this. It's essentially the exact same as the front side, however there is 2 blue clay right here instead of just plain cyan. So that's an 8 by 2 of light blue wool, and again the right side is the exact same, so I'm going to copy it over right now. So starting off at the bottom again, we've got our 2 layers of white clay. For our third layer we're going to do 2 cyan and 1 blue. Next to this, we're going to leave 1 block gap, and we're going to place 8 layers of 2 light blue wool. So that will bring us all the way up to the top, minus 1 block. So right here, and again that's 8 tall, 2 wide. To the left of this, in this gap here, we're going to place 1 cyan, 2 blue, 2 cyan, and then 4 blue. And from the top here we go 2 blocks to the right using our blue clay, and that pretty much wraps that all up. So that is the rear side of the body. What we're going to do now is, if you come to the top area, go ahead and fill this whole area in with blue clay. The middle area doesn't really matter too much because it's going to be covered up by the head anyways, but we want to make sure either side, the left side and the right side, is filled in. Now you could leave it looking like this, but personally what I prefer to do is grab some cyan carpet and place a 4x4 of cyan carpet on the left side and the right side. And what that does is, again, just gives you a nice smooth cyan surface on top rather than the more harsher dark blue colour. Now again, you don't have to do this is optional, but if you are, make sure it is indeed a 4x4 and you leave this 8 block gap here empty, otherwise you're going to have to punch it all out to build the head, and that's a bit of a pain. So as you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left side and the right side, and there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 block gap in between. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the body of the statue. What we're going to do now is the head, but before we do that, we're going to get rid of my arm, and I'm going to have a little spin around, and I'm going to give you guys one more opportunity to catch up just in case you need to do so, because I don't want anyone getting left behind. So what I'm going to do for this is, again, it's the part of the video where we specifically go to each different part of the statue, give you guys an opportunity to pause. So what I do is I fly to here with no arm, I say this is the front side of the legs, 12 by 8, and of course we've got the 3D effects on the bottom. 3D effects isn't that much of a problem in this statue, so shouldn't take too long. So anyways, yeah, if you want to pause here, this is the front side of the legs. It is 12 tall, 8 wide, and moving on, we've got the front side of the body, 12 tall, 8 wide, and the front side of each arm, 12 tall, 4 wide. Coming around to the left side, we have the left side of the leg, that is 12 tall, 4 wide. We have the underside of the left arm, which is a 4x4 square, and we have the left side of the arm, which is a 12x4. Coming around to the right side, exact same as the left, we have a 12x4 for the leg, we have a 4x4 for the underside of the right arm, and we have a 12x4 for the right arm. Coming around to the rear side, we have the rear side of the legs, 12x8, we have the rear side of the body, 12x8, and the rear side of each arm, 12x4. And then finally we have the top of the body, the shoulders, which is 16 wide and 4 thick, and again has a variation. You can use carpets, you can just leave it, do whatever you do, or do whatever you feel is best. So with that said, we're now ready to move on to the head. What we're going to do is clear up our inventory, and the blocks you're going to need to grab are white clay. You're going to need your 3 different types of wood, your black clay, and your white wool. So make sure you have white clay, dark oak planks, spruce planks, black hardened clay, and white wool, and you should be good to go. So what we're going to do is make sure at the front side of the statue, aka the side with the 3D effects, come to the front left corner and count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block place 1 white clay and bring it 2 forwards. On the right side now we're going to do the exact same, so we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block place a white clay, bring it 2 forwards, and in between place 2 layers of 6 white clay. So what this gives you is an 8x2 overhang, as you can see right here, and that is the front side. We then come around to the rear side and we expand backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on both sides, exact same with this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and link together in the middle by placing a 6x2, and that will give you again another 8x2 overhang, and in general an 8x8 square. So as you can see, 8 tall and 8 wide. And essentially this is going to be the template for the head, because the head, in case you didn't know, is 8x8x8. So we build the front side here, which is the face, left side, right side, and rear side, and of course we're going to start here with the front side first and get that out the way. So the first layer of the face, this side here, is of course 8 white clay. The second layer we're going to place is 1 white clay, 1 white wool. We need ourselves, in fact, I forgot a material. This is unusual. I forgot the brown wool. Of course you could use our dark oak here. I think I might have grabbed that by mistake. Let's try that anyways. Let's place 1 dark oak, 2 white clay, 1 dark oak, 1 white wool, and 1 white clay. Now, of course, if you don't want to use dark oak, simply use brown wool. I'll show you what they look like on both different colours, and you can choose which one you like the best. The third layer is 1 white clay, 1 white wool, 1 spruce plank, 2 white clay, 1 spruce plank, 1 white wool, and 1 white clay. And again, that is the third layer. So again, this is the left eye with the brown wool, this is the right with the dark oak. Choose whichever you like best. Personally, I prefer the brown wool. Anyways, the fourth layer is going to be 1 white clay, 2 black clay, 2 white clay, 2 black clay, and 1 white clay. And what we're going to do, just to make the eyelashes or eyebrows a bit more, I guess, feminine, is from the left side, we're going to go down diagonal to left, and to left of the white wool here we place 1 black clay, and on the right side we do the exact same. So we just punch out a previous block on each side, and we're going to make it go down diagonal to the side, and that just curls it a bit and makes it look a bit more feminine. So that is the first 4 layers. For the 5th layer, we're going to do another layer of 8 white clay. The 6th layer is 2 white clay, and this is where we're kind of getting into the buzz cut shaven head. So we're going to place 1 oak plank, 1 spruce plank, 1 oak, 1 spruce, and then our 2 white clay. And again, that's our 6th layer. For our 7th layer, we place 3 spruce planks, 1 oak, 2 spruce, oak, spruce. That's our 7th. And then for our 8th and final layer, we're going to place 1 spruce, 2 oak, 2 spruce, 1 oak, and 2 spruce. And that is our 8th and final layer. Now, one thing you can do, if you want to, is raise the eyes by 1 block. Personally, again, don't recommend it, and it matches the other builds if you leave it as it is. But of course, it can look like a bit, what's the word? it can look like the eyes are a bit too low. So if you do want to play around with it and move them up a bit, that's cool. But again, I didn't really want them connecting with the shaven head design because it is indeed separate. Now, of course, some people also question why the shaven head is kind of brown. And that's because in the TV show, I was about to say in the film, it is a really dark colour. So that's why I've done that. You could alternatively get away potentially with using a light grey clay. Personally, I prefer this because it allows us to do a bit more texturing as we have different variants compared to this, which would look a bit plain and look generally like that. So that's why I chose to avoid that colour. Anyways, with that said, again, that is the front side of the head. That's an 8x8 square, and if you want to pause, you are more than welcome. Coming around to the left side, we're going to make some progress here. We've got the first layer already done. That's simply white clay. The second layer, going from left to right, is going to be 2 spruce, and then 5 white clay. The next layer is 1 spruce. That's not spruce. 1 spruce, 1 oak, 2 spruce, and 3 white clay. And again, that's the third layer. The fourth layer is going to be 3 spruce, 1 oak, 2 spruce, and 1 white clay. And again, that's our fourth layer. For our fifth layer, we're going to do 1 spruce, 1 oak, and 5 spruce. The next layer is going to be 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 spruce, 1 oak, 1 spruce, 1 oak, and 1 spruce. So a nice little pattern going on right there. The seventh layer, the second to last layer, we're going to do 1 spruce, 1 oak, 3 spruce, 1 oak, and 1 spruce. And then for the final layer, the 8th layer, we're going to do 3 blocks of spruce, 1 oak, and 3 blocks of spruce. And it's as simple as that. Again, basic shaven head pattern, just with a bit of texturing in between. Apart from that, it's just plain white clay. That is indeed the left side. If you want to pause, feel free. The right side, of course, is the exact same, just for symmetry purposes. So if you want to copy it over, also, again, feel free to do so. Anyways, coming around to the right side, let's go through it. So, first layer, again, is white clay. The second layer is 5 white clay and 2 spruce planks. The next layer is 3 white clay, 2 spruce, 1 oak, 1 spruce. The fourth layer is going to be 1 white clay, 2 spruce, 1 oak, 3 spruce. The next layer, which is the fifth layer, is going to be 5 spruce, 1 oak, 1 spruce. The sixth layer is 1 spruce, 1 oak, spruce, oak, spruce, oak, spruce. The seventh layer is spruce, oak, 3 spruce, oak, spruce. And then the 8th and final layer is again 3 spruce, 1 oak, and 3 spruce. And again, once you've done that, exact same pattern as the left side. And that is indeed an 8x8 square. From a side angle, looks like this, and as you can see, the statue is really coming together. So, if you come around to the rear side of the head now, you've got this layer. You've got on the left side a pillar, and on the right side, again, another pillar, which means we're placing 6 blocks per layer. First layer is already done, simply white clay. The second layer is going to be 6 blocks of spruce planks. On top of this, we're going to place a layer of 1 oak, 1 spruce, 2 oak, 2 spruce. The next layer, which is the fourth layer we're going to do, is 1 oak, 2 spruce, 1 oak, spruce, oak. The fifth layer is going to be 3 spruce, 1 oak, and 2 spruce. On top of this, we place 1 oak, 2 spruce, 1 oak, spruce, and oak. And again, that's our 6th layer. Our 7th layer is simply going to be 6 blocks of spruce. And then our 8th is going to be 1 spruce, 1 oak, and 4 blocks of spruce. Again, that's an 8x8 square, just like all the other sides. And that leaves us with our final side, which is the top. So we have the top area here, which is an 8x8 square outline. What we're going to do is go ahead and fill it all in using spruce planks, and then we can punch out the final few details with our oak planks and wrap up the statue. Of course, I'm doing an awful job of placing, but there we go. So you can see we have a nice empty canvas at this point, and we have a few oak planks scattered around the edges. What we're going to do is first start off, go to the top left corner, this one here, go in diagonal, punch it out, and replace with oak planks. To the right of this, we're going to leave a 2-block gap, and we're going to punch out this block, which should connect diagonally to that one previously there, and replace with an oak plank. For the next layer, the third layer, we come to the 7th from left, which is diagonal from this block here. We're going to replace with oak, and that's all we're going to do for the 3rd layer. For the 4th layer, we come to this block here. We're going to leave 2 blocks, and on the 3rd one, punch out and replace. For the next layer, we're going to leave 2 blocks, and on the 3rd one, which is right here, we're going to punch out, replace. We're then going to leave a 2-block gap and punch out and replace. And again, so far, should look like this. The final 2 blocks we're going to do, the first one is directly in front of this one here, and the next one we're going to leave a 3-block gap, and on this block, second to last, the 7th block, we're going to punch out and indeed replace. And that is the pattern you're going to have. Again, it's a very, very simple pattern, but just represents the shaven head design. With that said, that is the statue complete. That is 11 from Stranger Things. I really do hope you like the design, and if you do, again, a like would be very much appreciated. Hopefully, you guys also enjoy the series idea. If you do, let me know, and I'll do more. In fact, I'll probably do more anyways, because I really, really love designing them. I've already got a bunch of designs. I'll whack up a picture on screen, actually, and show you all the ones I've done. I've done Joyce, I've done Mike, Lucas, I forgot his name now. This is awkward. It's put me on the spot. But yeah, I've done a bunch of characters, and I really hope you like them as much as I do, and I really hope you enjoy the tutorials. Apart from that, again, that's pretty much it. I'm going to stop waffling and I'll leave you guys to it. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Again, ratings appreciated. Subscribe for more. Apart from that, until next time, my name has been Gummy, and goodbye.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light